Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I am super excited to bring to you my top 10 winter fragrances, the ones that I'm excited to be wearing during this cold winter. We've been lucky this season. So far our winter has been relatively mild, like really quite mild. So I'm hoping it stays that way because January usually gets pretty cold. I know that this is a little bit long time coming because winter's been in full swing for a while, but I wanted to share the ones that I've been like enjoying wearing over the past little while. But before I do that, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Just go ahead and hit it. I would love for you to join the Weird Wonderful family, and yeah, I think that that's it. If you are here all the time, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you so much. And without further ado, let's get into this. Now, I'm going to start with an honorable mention, and this is, well, I kind of two honorable mentions. So this is my travel spray of Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. I love this scent. It's one of my favorite scents of all time. I think of Ireland, which isn't overly cold, but this is just such a gorgeous scent. Like it's beautiful, sweet tobacco with vanilla. It's not cloying, but it's just rich and delicious. Makes me think of sitting in an Irish pub wearing some sort of tweed cloak. Maybe I've gone on a long walk throughout the misty, whatever. I kind of mix up Ireland with my fantasy worlds of like Lord of the Rings. But anyway, love this fragrance. And another one that's really kind of similar but adds a bit of rose is Rose Tobacco 1591 by Perfume Parlor. This is just a gorgeous scent. I think they really nail the tobacco in this. It's very similar to the Tom Ford's, but of course a fraction of the price. I do have their dupe for the Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille, and I think it's really, really close. But this one, it just adds that rose dimension, which just, it's just really beautiful. So I highly recommend you checking out this one too. But both of these are gorgeous. I love Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille. So moving on, let's see, where should I go next? I'm gonna choose Jean Paul Gaultier's Classique Essence de Parfum. This one is beautiful. It's just warm. I've said it a million times, but this one reminds me of a ginger ale in the opening. It's got aldehydes, so you get this ginger kind of fizz that occurs in it. So it's nice and bright. It's got orange blossom in it. But then as it dries down, you start to notice this whipped cream accord that comes out. And to me, it smells like a gingerbread cake with a big, huge dollop of whipped cream. I don't know if you guys are into that, but I just love it. I think it's delicious. You smell the ginger throughout this perfume, but the more it dries down, the more sensual and creamy it becomes. So I love this one. Jean Paul Gaultier Classique Essence de Parfum. It's beautiful. Some people think it smells like an orange creamsicle. I think it's got too much ginger to be an orange creamsicle, but that's what some people find their nose picking up in this. So for me, it's that warm gingerbread cake. It's just perfect for this time of year. Fall, winter. A lot of these are kind of repeats, I would say, from the fall scents, just because they kind of go hand in hand. But I've been really enjoying wearing this one. Now the next one I'm going to bring up is, well, there's two that are kind of similar. So MANCERA's Roses Vanille. I'd heard a lot about that, but I hadn't tried it. And recently Nisha from Spicy Looks sent me a sample, and it smells just like the one that I own called Florence by Swiss Arabian. This one kind of reminded me of my next one, which is Intense CAFÉ by MONTALE, just without any coffee in it. But to me, this is a spot-on dupe for Roses Vanille by MANCERA. The only thing that I would say, this one still smells synthetic. It gives you that same kind of synthetic vibe that Roses Vanille gives you, but I think it's got a little bit less of that than the MANCERA. So this is a great option. It's super affordable. I think it was about $45. So Florence by Swiss Arabian. What does it smell like? This in the opening has lemon, bergamot and water notes. I don't notice that really, but I can see that there's a slight kind of tartness to this. So maybe that's the lemon, but I don't really distinguish it as being a lemon bergamot scent. But then you get into the dry down and you definitely, or the mid notes, and that's where kind of the scent really happens. So you get rose, vanilla, and praline, and those three things I definitely notice. This has cedar, sandalwood, musk, and patchouli. I don't actually really notice any of that. Like, I'm not really noticing that cedar. It basically stays with that rose, vanilla, praline, but with a little bit of a tartness in there, which I think must be that citrus. And that's kind of how it stays throughout the whole entire course of the perfume. So this one is really nice. I really enjoy this one, and it's also super long lasting. So definitely worth checking out this, or Roses Vanille, which is by MANCERA. Same thing, just a lot more pricey. So if I had to choose between the two, I'd just pick this because I can't notice a difference. So this one's a great price. And being I just brought it up a few minutes ago, there is also MONTALE Intense Cafe. This one, I would say I like it better than the Florence, simply because I love that bit of, I love that bit of creamy coffee, and it's missing the tart aspect of this one. So this one is roses and just a creamy coffee. There's still kind of a synthetic vibe to this, but oh, I love it. I love that coffee note, but it's not like a strong coffee. It would be more like a coffee that is super hyper sugared and creamed, like a latte. To me, it's more like a latte, so super milky, with a lot of like praline-y, sugary type stuff in there that gives it a lot of sweetness. So this one's pretty. The longevity on this is amazing. And what I love is just spraying myself with it, and then I just get these beautiful whiffs of the perfume throughout the day, and it's super cozy and warm. This perfume just gives me the vibe of a coffee shop somewhere in Europe in my imaginations. Where I'm sitting drinking a coffee outside. It's super sugary sweet, like kind of one of those indulgent coffees with whipped cream on top. And then I can get these whiffs, this wafting of roses that have been put in planters. And that's kind of what it smells like to me. So it doesn't bring up winter, but it's nice and cozy and warm, and I love it. And I can't help it. I really enjoy doing this with the bottle. Like, I know people hate these bottles, but I think they're fun. Like, I like it when there's weird dingly danglies on it. It's kind of cool. So anyway, Intense Cafe. Love it. Now, a new one to my collection, which I'm absolutely in love with, is Tom Ford's Noir Pour Femme. This one, I got a sample of this back in January of last year, and I used up the sample, and then I just kept the little vial from Sephora and would sniff it because I loved the scent of this. This to me smells like pure luxury. It is so beautiful. I don't even really know how to describe it. Like, there's all sorts of different notes. So this one has ginger, bitter orange, mandarin, and bergamot in the opening. I don't really notice that. In the mids, it's got this dessert called Kulfi, rose, orange blossom, and jasmine. In the base, there's vanilla, amber, sandalwood, and what's it called? Mastic or Latensque? I don't know, some sort of, it looks like a milky note. What I get out of this, it smells deep, dark, sexy, with a bit of cream mixed in. So I don't notice like massive rose or jasmine or anything like that. The notes are just so blended together. Lots of people consider this a gourmand. I wouldn't want to eat it, but I sure do want to smell it, and it is so super sexy, luxurious. It smells very luxe. It smells rich to me. So this scent reminds me of you're going to a fancy event. I'm thinking like an opera or something classical. You're getting dressed up in a fancy velvet dress. I don't know why velvet, this just smells kind of velvety to me. So I think velvet, I think sensual. You know, you're going with someone in a tuxedo. You get into the, you've got kind of a stole on or some sort of warm something to cover up with. You go to this event, you drive there in a beautiful leather interiored car. The heat is on, so you're smelling the perfume, you're smelling the guy's perfume, whatever, and then you get to this event. I'm thinking something like something classical. You're sitting beside each other and you can just smell this smell, but you're kind of cozied up, sitting in the seats, experiencing something together. That's very moving. That's what this smells like. And then you go home and then you just create your own magic. I love this. This is the sexiest fragrance that I can think of. Like, it's the one that when I smell it, I think of love it. Love this one. And people say that this is kind of like a fancy event fragrance. I totally understand where they're coming from, but I will wear fragrance anytime. I would wear this with jeans on. It gives me a vibe. I'm gonna wear it whenever I want that vibe. So I love this perfume. I probably wouldn't wear it to the office though. Like, it's a little bit too sensual for the office for me. Okay, next perfume. I think I've got quite a few rose-ish perfumes, but the next one is Swiss Arabian's SHAGHAF Oud. I love this fragrance. I love the oudiness of it. It's got praline, it's got rose. This is a major heavy hitter, and unfortunately, every time I put this on, I spray myself in it, love it, but it's so strong that I choke on it when I first put it on. So like, I literally am going like that. But this is such a beautiful scent. It's, again, really rich and luxurious. I love the rose in it. It's very prominent, but that oud, kind of that spice with the praline, this smells so good. You know, these smell quite creamy. This smells a lot more spicy. This one smells a lot more intense and deep. So love this one. It's perfect for those cold winter days. It's definitely going to project through the cold. And yeah, so long lasting. And this is also really affordable, like $45-ish, somewhere around there. So I highly recommend checking this one out. The oud is quite strong in it, but it's balanced so beautifully with that rose and that praline. And this is also considered a dupe for Oud Bouquet by Lancome. So if you want to try that one, and like, I don't know how exact they are, but you know, this one, I really enjoy the sweetness, the oud, that spice of that oud. It's sexy. And then with the rose, I just think it's gorgeous. And I think that this would smell amazing on a guy too. The next one is By the Fireplace by MAISON Margiela. I've talked about this tons, but it's perfect for wintertime. It smells like a fire that's going, and you're roasting marshmallows, and then you shove that marshmallow in your mouth and you're smelling the wood and the marshmallow. It's just really, really pretty. Yeah, I love that campfirey wood smell. It doesn't smell like smoke. It just smells like fire that's burning. And so that's kind of a weird note, but if you want to feel cozy, definitely try this one. And this one, you definitely get a bit of projection, but it's not a super heavy hitter. So this one's really nice for just cuddling and cozying up. You know, and this one as well, to me, is super unisex. So a guy could definitely wear this. I highly recommend this one. It's really beautiful. So the next one is new to my collection as well, and it is called Ragba by Lattafa. This one has vanilla, sugar, oud, incense, sandalwood, and musk. And this is really beautiful. As far as vanillas are concerned, to be honest, I've steered away from straight vanilla perfumes. Like, I've got lots that have a vanilla base, and what I found was that I gravitate towards fragrances with a vanilla base. but just straight up vanilla perfumes, I find them actually too sweet a lot of times, or quite cloying. So I wasn't sure how I'd like this one. I mentioned this in my haul recently, but Serge Lutens Un Bois Vanille, I almost pulled the plug and bought that one a few times, but I just found it somehow too cloying. And I liked the woodiness, but I wasn't crazy about it. I know I've tried a dupe for Spiritus Double Vanille, and that one, like by Guerlain, that one I'm definitely wanting to get my hands on. I've been looking for it and I haven't been able to find it, so I think I'm just going to get the dupe. But this one, so many people have talked about it, and so I wanted to give it a try. This one doesn't have any florals in it, so it's going to give you that straight vanillic kick that lots of people love. But what I do love about this is that it's got a bit of oud to balance it out, which gives me that woodiness or that smokiness. And then the incense, I actually really enjoy it. So I wore this one all day yesterday and just really enjoyed. I could smell it on my skin. It lasted pretty decent. Like, it wasn't massive longevity. Like, I think I got about 5 hours out of it, and then it stayed on my skin. But this one is really pretty. I'm enjoying wearing it, especially in the cooler months. I probably wouldn't pull this out in spring and summer, but for fall and winter, this one's just really beautiful if you want a vanilla scent that smells deep and quite rich. And the beauty of this one it was $25 Canadian. So it's a fantastic deal, and you can get that on Fragrance Buy. So definitely check out fragrancebuy.ca because they have this readily available. 25 bucks, can't really beat it. So it's definitely worth a try. Some people find that the incense is too strong and their skin pulls the incense. I definitely get the incense, but the vanilla and oud are right in there mixed together. So if you're wanting a nice sweet scent that's balanced with a bit of spice, give this one a go. And the other thing I want to say to you guys is please come and check me out on Instagram. I post there pretty much daily. I'll do things like you know, I'll sample a bunch of perfumes, one per day, and you know, do a little pick on it, and then do a minute review. So I've got tons of little minute reviews up on perfumes, so some fun stuff like that. So please feel free to check me out there. I would love to have you be part of the community there. And really, there's an amazing fragrance community on Instagram that certainly is worth checking out. They're super fun, super inclusive, and I just love it. So come on over to Instagram and check it out there. Now, the next fragrance that I'm enjoying for winter is Angel Muse EDP. So this one has grapefruit and lemon, I believe, in the opening, maybe just grapefruit. It's got hazelnut spread in it, and then it's got patchouli in the base. So lots of people find that this smells like hazelnut to them. To me, this is more of a sweet tea, and then with just a slight kind of chocolate hazelnut in the dry down. But this one smells really warm. It's super comforting, great for the winter months, and the projection and longevity of this one is phenomenal. So I highly recommend checking this one out. It is very patchouli heavy though. So if you're not a fan of patchouli, you probably won't like this, but there's lots of people that don't like Angel that like this Angel Muse. So if you found Angel to be too much for you, like way too much, you might want to get your nose on this one because it's quite beautiful. This one just smells, like I wear this one a lot to bed. It just smells cozy and warm and comforting. Lots of people find this super sexy. I'm not sure if I find it super sexy. If you've tried this, tell me if you find it super sexy. I'm curious. But I just really enjoy this one. It's just perfect for bundling up, and you're going to be able to smell yourself even out in the cold. I've got two more to share with you, and I don't know why, but lately I have been really craving the sweet perfumes. So like all of these, when I think about it, are quite sweet. You know, but I'm really leaning like kind of needing some sort of sweet hit. So there's two that I'm really gravitating towards. The first one is BELLE by Jean-Paul Gaultier. I've talked about this one a ton. There's pear, vanilla, and vetiver in this. This one to me is super sensual. It smells, if I could, I think of this as a pear that's been, you know, you've been cooking it down. I wouldn't say this smells like a pear dessert, like with a crust and stuff, because you don't get any butteriness from this. But I just imagine a pear, maybe you've poached it in wine or some sort of sugary, syrupy thing with a little bit of spices. So it's cooked down and it's gotten quite sugary and syrupy. That's what this smells like to me. So you get that vanilla, you get the pear, it's juicy, it's delicious, it's sensual. I think this one's super sexy. I really enjoy smelling it. Super gourmand, but what happens is that vetiver just kind of balances the whole perfume out. So it just smells, although you get that sweetness, you get a bit of spice that adds kind of a mysterious kick to it. I love this one. I think it's really beautiful. It had to grow on me. I didn't love it right off the bat as much as I do, but this is one I definitely crave. And this is a perfume you could wear. I don't know if I'd wear this in the summer months, but pretty much any other time. Like you could wear this all year round, and I think it's beautiful. So love the bottle, love the scent. I'm addicted to this one, totally addicted. So the last scent that I have for you today is a new one to my collection as well, and it's called Velvet Vanilla by MANCERA. Now, this was a total blind buy. I was kind of nervous. It got mixed reviews, but a lot of people were saying it was just amazing, delicious, fantastic, and so I really was curious about this, and it was on sale, so I wanted to give it a go. Now this one has a lot of notes in it. I'm just going to read you the top notes because it's crazy amount. Pear, angelica, blackcurrant, mandarin orange, pink pepper, and clove. The middle notes have tuberose, jasmine, neroli, rose, and the base notes have vanilla and musk. So I was kind of like, just looking from the notes, I thought, oh, this is going to be like crazy amazing, like with a bit of spice, and the angelica is a little bit green. I didn't notice that. I didn't notice really the pear, although there is a juiciness to this. What you get is what a lot of people have said. It's a bubblegummy tuberose with some vanilla. So this is, again, because it's MANCERA, is a little bit synthetic, but it just comes across as this bright, juicy bubblegum smell. And then as it dries down, it turns into what I would consider a vanilla buttercream icing. So when I smell it on my skin, it totally smells like a vanilla buttercream. And yeah, so super gourmand, but I really am enjoying this one. At first I was like, not sure, because I'm like, okay, bubblegum, it's a little different. But as I wear it, like if I smell it like this, or like just, you know, when I first spray it, it's like quite in your face, quite strong. But then and actually you can go check out my first response to this on Instagram. I do a lot of unboxings on Instagram, so you get my first impression. But this one I was like, oh, not quite sure. But then when I've worn it, I really enjoy just being able to get wafts of it. It's just sweet, it's cheery, it's bright. I wouldn't consider this overly sexy. I know some people do find this one sexy, but I do think it's really pretty, and I've been enjoying it. If you're wanting something to pick you up and put you into kind of a bright, cheery mood in the midst of the darkness of winter, then this one is great. I love the bottle too. Like the color of the bottle is just so cool. So yeah, this one is definitely a winner for me, and I'm enjoying it. It lasts quite a long time on my skin, and I've worn this, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 times. I find that every time I wear it, I'm enjoying it more and more. So it's one of those scents that I'm kind of warming up to. So it'll be interesting to see as we go into spring how much I am like in love with this one. It's one I definitely think about and am sniffing quite often. So these two, you know, the sweet factor, the juiciness of it. Like both of these ones are kind of doing it for me lately. So that is it. That is my 10/11 or 12. I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. What are your favorite perfumes for the winter? Is there one that you're gravitating towards in particular right now? I would love to know. This is my new baby. That's all I can say. Like, oh, like I even like touching the bottle. It just feels so great in the hand. And then I love the smell. It's so sexy. So I'm really excited to have this one. But they're all amazing fragrances. Let me know what your picks are right now. I would love to hear from you. So that's it. Have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon.